what's up? It's Michelle. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video here on Chats with Michelle. What's up? How's it going? So in today's video, as you can see by the title, I'm going to be doing a quarter year update. I've done this on my channel for at least the past 2 to 3 years, and I want to go ahead and just continue on with that tradition. I think it's really cool and nice for me to, just kind of give a recap on how the first quarter of the year went. If I can be completely honest, just starting the video off right away, this first quarter has been entirely stressful for me, if I'm being completely honest. Definitely this first quarter, I've had to eat some humble pie. I had to take a nice big slice of humble pie. And I want to go ahead and share with you why and just the different lessons and things that I've learned in this past quarter, in this past season, and what I'm still learning in this season right now. So yes, you heard me correctly. I said that I had to eat a big slice of humble pie. And why is that? I think it's because, or I know, matter of fact, it's because honestly, if I'm being real with myself and being real with you, I can tend to be a bit of a perfectionist. Yes, my name is Michelle and I am a perfectionist. And in this season, more than anything, I've had to learn to replace perfection with excellence. Now, if you're in my life or you're someone who's fairly close enough to me, you know I've been talking about this a lot because that's actually what I've been learning in this season. I can be honest to say that I can tend to be extremely particular and want things to be done a specific and certain kind of way. And I had to learn more than anything that, you know what, everything is not always going to be to the perfection of my standards and everything. Sometimes I do have to just swallow a little bit of my own pride and just understand that, although everything's not always going to be in the perfect way that I want it to be, I can still strive to do things in excellence. But like I said, if I'm being completely honest, this last season, like January, February, March, April, it has been so stressful. Like, it has been a very, very stressful season in my life. As you all know, I've shared this many times on this channel, at least within the last year, that I decided to go back to school. I know it seems like I'm beating a dead horse with this, and I keep saying that I'm almost done, but I really am almost done. Like, I'm literally like, I can see the end line, I can see the finish line. And to be honest, I had expectations and ways and things that I wanted this to go. And this last semester, it really humbled me in the sense of two ways. And I made a video about this recently. One way being that you cannot expect you out of others. And that's the biggest thing I've learned this season, besides, replacing excellence for perfection. Well, yeah, exactly. Replacing excellence for perfection is that I cannot expect me out of other people. Meaning that, at the end of the day, just because I have a standard doesn't mean that's everyone's standard. So with that being said, that just means to me that I cannot expect me out of others. And I had to learn that the hard way, so much so that it just drove me really crazy and it made me really frustrated because, like, for me, going back to school was something that I wasn't super excited to do, but like I shared with you, is that something I felt really called to do. Like, I felt like I was supposed to go back to school. And, if I'm being honest, I felt like I sacrificed a lot. So another thing I wanted to say, if I'm being real honest and transparent, is that in this season, especially the first quarter, I was really frustrated. I was really frustrated with God. I was saying even to myself, I was like, what is this faith that I believe? Is it even real? Is it even true? Yeah, I'm going to keep it real. That's how I was feeling. I was really frustrated. But on one hand, I will say it's because things weren't going my way, if I'm being completely honest, because a lot of times, faith is one of those things where you have to believe it, right? You just have to believe it. It has to be something that you believe in, why you're believing it. And I had to take a time to sit down and just kind of look at the evidence within my life because, yeah, people tell you it's not real or et cetera, whatever. But for me, and what I've seen Christ do in my life, I had to sit down and just look at the evidence and the fruits of my life to know, like, okay, well, I can't just be doing this all on my own. Because like I said, I did feel called to go to school and I was very frustrated, if I'm being honest. I'm like, yo, God, like, I feel like you told me to do this. And now it's coming towards the end. I'm getting all this, like, I feel like these mountains and hills and valleys and like what's going on. So I was like really frustrated. So much so, like I said, because one, things weren't going the way that I thought it was. And also the people who were around me at the time, like in my class, etc., classmates weren't taking things like as serious, and I was getting really frustrated, But you know, I heard something probably like not too long ago, and they said, it said, I don't remember where I heard it from, but it said that your frustration, and it said, sorry, your frustration level oftentimes show your prayer life, right? So basically how frustrated you are oftentimes show like how often you are in communication with God, etc. Because I was so frustrated. I was like, I'm not gonna pray, I'm not gonna do anything because I'm annoyed and this is foolishness, and I don't got time to be praying about stuff. I just need things to change, you know? So that was like one thing. And if I'm being honest, in this season now, I'm working on recovering it. I still kind of feel my ways if I'm being completely honest, but it's something that I'm working on. Because like I said, in the end of it all, when I look at the fruits of my life, just everything, even where I am now, like literally physically being in the space that I am now, I knew it wasn't with my own strength and everything. You know what I'm saying? So I do see the different favors in my life and God's hand in my life. So I'm just remembering those things, and it's like, you know, having faith is not meaning that, you know, everything's always going to go your way. It's in the times when things don't go your way, it's actually to see if you actually believe in all the things that you say that you do. You know what I mean? So like I said, yeah, if I'm being honest, it's something that I'm definitely working through, but that's how I felt. Now, another thing that I learned in this season more than anything, and it was one of the biggest lessons besides, you know, replacing excellence for perfection, is that I had to learn that I have to be able to communicate with people. And what do I mean by that? I used to say a lot, and it's true in a sense, but I used to say a lot that I'm a very non-controversial person. And that is true in a sense. For me, it's just like I don't want to be going back and forth. I don't want to do all that. Like I don't like that. And the thing with that though is that one of two things happened with that. The thing with that is like, yeah, okay, you could be non-controversial, but then it turns into avoidance. At least on my end, it just turns into avoidance, and you just kind of like pushing things to the back of your mind to the point where eventually you will blow up. I'm learning in this season in my life that, I mean, yeah, I don't necessarily have to be controversial, but everything doesn't have to be a controversial, big blow up kind of thing. If anything, it's just communicating. So I'm learning more than anything in this season that I need to learn to communicate and speak up and really just even advocate for myself. Because in this last season, there are so many things that were really just pissing me off, if I'm being completely honest. And instead of just like going and just, you know, being, I feel like, woman enough to just have the conversation and talk about those things, I would just kind of just like avoid it and just be like, you know what, I don't have time for this. Like, I'm not about to be going back and forth for nobody. I'm just not gonna talk to these people, this person, whatever, and I'm just gonna leave it alone. But I feel like that just creates and allows frustrations and just like frustration and resentment, I guess is the word, towards people that either they do or don't deserve it. But sometimes I do believe if you just have the conversation, like, because everyone's adults, or should be anyways, in the situation, things could be a little bit different. For me, I'm just like, screw me over once, like I'm just through what you done. But, and I've even made a video about this as well, about like, you know, the way I want to move forward, about just cutting people off, because I've done that a lot. I'm just like, not to say that, you know, I'm going to tolerate foolishness. However, I think that some people, it's just a conversation that needs to be had, and then behavior can be changed, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Even with myself, being able to take constructive criticism and different things like that. So that's kind of like what it's been. If I'm being completely honest, that's what my first quarter has been. Like I said, it's been a lot of me reflecting and realizing the biggest thing is that, you know, it's okay for me to do things in excellence, but I have to remove like my perfectionism that I put on top of it, you know, that extra sauce. It's like, you know, you still do things with excellence, but understand that I have to just leave room for growth. I have to leave room for error, I guess. And like, yeah, you know, so yeah, that's what it is. I feel like I've been humbled in many ways, and I've taken a break, as you can possibly see, off of just like all socials in general, just because I just needed time to honestly relax. I was tired, I was exhausted, doing a lot of all-nighters and stuff, so I was really exhausted. But honestly, I just needed time to kind of sit and think, and I'm still sitting and thinking of what I want to do and what I want to do next. This next chapter that's coming up, it's a lot of new changes that's going to be happening, and I'm looking forward to sharing that experience. But yeah, so like I always say, I always make these videos not to talk at you, but just to share the experiences and the journey that I'm even going through. You know, this, I just feel like, you know, this whole thing is navigating adulthood. Anyways, I'm so glad that I was able to sit here and do this video. To be honest, it was kind of like pulling teeth to even sit down to record this video, because I just hadn't sat down and recorded a video in so long. But I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that I made this update. I hope you all are doing well, and I will see you in my next video here on Chats with Michelle. Bye and peace out.